the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as members of the school board and in and for the said Wadsworth City School District, Medina County, Ohio, to the best of my ability and in accordance with the laws now and hereafter, to be enacted during my continuance in said office or until my successor is elected.
I do.
Congratulations, all three.
Now that we have a board, we can do roll call. Doug?
Amanda Gordon.
Here.
Joe Stevens.
Here.
Tim Beck. Here. Tom Fisher.
Here.
Okay, so next matter of business is to elect a president of the board for this coming year. I'd like to open nominations for president. I'd like to nominate Tim Beck. Any other nominations? Okay, I need a motion and a second to close nominations.
Good motion to close nominations.
Second. Okay. Vote to close nominations. Roll call. Doug?
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck. Aye. Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye. Okay. Congratulations, Tim. Then I'd like to open nominations for vice president, please. I'd like to nominate Julie Beatty. Any other nominations? Okay, may I get a motion and a second to close nominations?
So moved.
Second. Okay, vote to close the nominations. Roll call. Doug?
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck. Aye. Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye. Okay, so new president, vice president get to stand, and Doug's got an oath of office for you.
Again, Commissioners, you solemnly take this and please answer I do. I, Tim Beck, and Julie Beatty, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America, the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and I will faithfully and impartially discharge my duties as president and vice president of the school board and in for the said Wadsworth City School District, Medina County, Ohio, to the best of my ability and in accordance with the laws in effect or to be enacted hereafter during my continuance in office until my successor is elected.
I do. Congratulations.
All right, no pressure. All right, very good. Thank you all. We'll continue with our organizational meeting. At this time, we need to set dates and times for our 2026 regular meetings. Pattern in the past has been the second Monday of the month, with the exception of July. So, do we have a motion in a second to continue on to that same pattern for 2026?
So second.
All right, roll call.
Tim Beck.
Aye.
Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Next up, we need to establish our service fund for 2026. Need a motion in a second.
So moved. Second.
All right, roll call, Mr. Bean.
Tom Fisher.
Here.
Aye.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck.
Aye. Next, we need to appoint a treasurer as our public records designee. So we need a motion in a second.
So moved. Second.
All right, roll call.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck.
Aye.
Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Next, we need to appoint a legislative liaison to the Ohio School Board Association. This is a cherished position on the board. Is there a motion, or excuse me, are there any nominees for?
Oh, I nominate Tim Beck. I second that. I would third that.
Okay. All right, is there a motion in a second?
So moved.
Oh, yeah. Roll call.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Joe Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck.
Aye.
Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
motion and approval and the signing of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Jill Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck.
Aye. All right, lastly, a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Jill Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck. Tom Fisher.
Aye.
All right, we survived our first meeting of the year. All right, now we can officially continue with our regularly stated meeting of the Wadsworth City School District Board of Education, scheduled for Thursday, January 8th, 2026. And we will start this meeting with roll call.
Julie Beatty.
Here.
Amanda Gordon.
Still
Jill Stevens.
here.
Tim Beck.
Here.
Tom Fisher.
Here.
This time I'll turn it over to Dr. Hill for student and staff recognition.
Thank you, President Beck. At this time, I ask for our principals and students of the month to please make their way backstage. Board, once we finish with the student of the month presentation, we'll be on stage for discussion.
Good evening, Wadsworth families. My name is Samantha Kelly, and I am the principal at Franklin Elementary School, and I am so proud to recognize Lola McShane as our January Board of Education Student of the Month. Lola is an incredible student who brings positivity, kindness, and fun to our Franklin community every single day. She lives at home with her mom, dad, and sister who goes to our high school here, and it is clear that family is very important to her. Lola loves spending time with her family, watching TV shows like Duck Dynasty, and going to rodeos together. She also enjoys drawing with colored pencils, especially sea animals, and hanging out with her friends and family. When Lola grows up, she hopes to become a veterinarian. She loves animals and wants to help keep them healthy and happy, which perfectly reflects her caring and compassionate nature. Her favorite subject is math, especially multiplication, and her favorite color is teal. One of Lola's favorite memories at Franklin is the 4th grade campfire, where she loves spending time with her friends and eating s'mores. When asked to Franklin in one word, she chose fun, and that word truly captures how she approaches school each day. The most is her mom. She admires how hard her mom works to make all their meals and help everyone get ready for school and work. And she's always there for her when they need her. Lola shared that her mom works hard to make her happy no matter what. When thinking about how she wants others to see her, Lola hopes that people think of her as brave and fun, especially when it comes up to standing up for others when they need it. That bravery, kindness, and joyful spirit are exactly what make Lola such a wonderful role model. Lola is truly loved by our entire school, and while we will miss her so much next year, we know she will continue to shine and lead wherever she goes. Congratulations, Lola. We are so proud of you. Please join me in congratulating Lola McShane.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Dalka, and I am the principal of Isham Elementary School. It is my honor this evening to recognize Isham's 4th grade Student of the Month for January. Leslie's homeroom teacher, Mrs. Carpenter, shared the following about her. Leslie consistently brings positivity and kindness into our school each and every day. She arrives with a smile on her face and builds strong, meaningful relationships wherever she goes. When I look up from my desk or make eye contact during a lesson, I can always count on a smile from Leslie. She's probably smiling right now. A simple gesture that serves as a reminder that happiness and kindness truly go a long way. Leslie is like a bright light that refuses to dim. She works hard in everything she does, always giving her best effort while maintaining her warm and uplifting personality. She is a friend to everyone and sets a high standard for kindness, helpfulness, and respect. Beyond the classroom, Leslie is an active Girl Scout and cheerleader, demonstrating dedication, teamwork, and leadership in all that she pursues. She has recently begun performing in plays and enjoys doing puzzles and building with Legos, activities that highlight her perseverance and creativity. Her favorite subjects include reading, math, and art, reflecting her strong love of learning. Leslie is a wonderful role model for her peers and is truly deserving of this recognition. I look forward to seeing all that she accomplishes during her time in Wadsworth City Schools. Keep up the great work. We are so proud of you. When Leslie talks about school, she shares how much she appreciates her teachers, especially enjoying having the same teachers her brother once had. She describes them as kind, helpful, and supportive. What she loves most about Isham is the sense of community, her friends, the welcoming library staff, the friendly lunch staff, and, in her words, the best principal.
Franklin, in one word, she chose
Leslie finds joy in many subjects. She loves art for the opportunity to be creative, math because she enjoys learning new things, and reading, a passion she says she has loved her entire life. Looking toward the future, Leslie has big dreams. She hopes to become a veterinarian one day, driven by her love for animals and her desire to help them. An interest inspired by caring for her family's cat and dog, she says basically since forever. At least when she was one. She is also considering becoming a teacher, motivated by her own love of learning and a desire to help students succeed. Outside of school, Leslie stays very involved. She participates in Wadsworth Youth Cheerleading at Bird Street Park. She told me she competed with them, and they earned a second place finish this past year. She recently performed in a play at Grace Lutheran Church and has been an active Girl Scout for over a year. Leslie looks up to many people in her life, including her parents, whom she hopes to model as a parent herself one day. She admires her brothers for their kindness and enjoys spending time with them, especially building Lego sets together. She also looks up to her teachers as she continues to consider teaching as a future career. If Leslie could give advice to her kindergarten self, she would say to keep learning because learning never stops, and to do great things like making friends. Please join me in recognizing Leslie Wagner as Isham Elementary's January Student of the Month.
Good evening. My name is Laura Maslick, proud principal of Lincoln Elementary, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Hayden Crowley, Lincoln's January Board Student of the Month. Hayden's parents are Jonathan and Sarah Crowley, and Hayden has 2 younger siblings, Bennett and Austin. Here's what Hayden's teachers, Mrs. Barker and Miss Sivio, had to say when nominating her. Hayden is an outstanding example of responsibility, kindness, and friendliness in our classroom community. What truly sets her apart is her warm and welcoming personality. She treats everyone with respect, goes out of her way to help others, and makes our classroom a happier place with her positive attitude. Her friendly nature helps build strong connections with her classmates and encourages a supportive environment for all. One thing you will quickly learn about Hayden is her genuine love for learning, especially in math, which has always been her favorite subject, she says. Long division, it's her favorite skill right now. She likes memorizing, repeating steps to solve problems. Hayden especially loves the creative way her teacher, Miss Sivio, helps students learn, including fun songs that make remembering the steps even easier. Hayden is a true leader at Lincoln. She proudly delivers the morning announcements side by side with me. She actively is involved in the student council. She is in Student Ambassadors Club, and she serves as an office helper. One of her favorite parts of school, she said, is the student ambassador skits that she and other students help create with Mrs. McNamara and Mrs. Doma. They share these during our Shining Stars assemblies every month. Hayden loves being part of something that helps our entire school grow and learn together. Outside of school, Hayden is a very busy girl. She loves basketball, and she spends time practicing and playing with her dad. She enjoys dancing and performing plays and skits with her brothers, Hayden and Austin. Bennett and Austin, my apologies. Bennett is 4, and Hayden shared today proudly that she loves making Bennett breakfast in the mornings. This year, Hayden's excited to try volleyball. Family is so important to her. She loves spending time with them, watching movies, and snuggling together. Some of her favorites include mac and cheese, Chipotle, and Hayden's family also has another special member named Nala. She's 15 years old, and Hayden told me even though Nala has smelly breath, she is very much loved because Nala is actually deaf and blind. Hayden and her family take extra special care of her because she's been in her life since Hayden was a baby. When Hayden looks to the future, she hopes to become an orthopedic surgeon. After seeing a friend break her wrist, Hayden quickly realized how meaningful it would be to help others when they're hurt. She's always wanted to be a doctor, and her desire to care for others is truly reflective of her compassionate heart. When I asked Hayden what advice she would give to any new student at Lincoln, she said, and I quote, "Everyone here is ready to show kindness, and all the adults are here to support you. Mrs. McNamara, our school counselor, is great at helping kids who need extra help, and we always have room for another student to join us in anything." Wow, what wonderful advice that truly captures the welcoming spirit of our school. Hayden, we are so proud of you. Your kindness, leadership, dedication to helping others, and love for learning truly make Lincoln a better place with you there. Will you please join me in congratulating Hayden Crowley, our Board Student of the Month.
Good evening, my name is Dave Ryder, and I'm the principal at Overlook Elementary. This evening, I am proud to introduce 4th grade student Lennon Blake as Overlook Elementary's January Board Student of the Month. In Ms. Gervaisi's nomination, she stated, "Lennon was nominated for January Student of the Month due to his exceptional work ethic, kind heart and spirit, and his genuine curiosity and love for learning. Lennon is an extremely hard worker, always striving to do his best. Whether working in a group or individually, Lennon is always willing to lend a helping hand to a friend or a classmate when needed. Lennon's smile and quick, comical remarks make our classroom light up with smiles and laughter when we least expect it. An Overlook Grizzly is safe, kind, and responsible, and Lennon exceeds these expectations and responsibilities far beyond measure by setting a positive example each day. Lennon is a wonderful student, and I look forward to seeing where his future takes him. Keep up the great work, Lennon." At school, Lennon helps deliver the morning video announcements. His favorite subject is math, and he stated that it's fun to learn new concepts, and he likes the challenge it presents. When asked about his favorite Overlook teachers, he named several, including Mrs. Ott, Ms. Lavin, Mr. Vasey, all of whom are noted for their kindness. His favorite school memories are the annual Halloween parades, as he enjoyed seeing all his friends in their costumes. Lennon is excited to transition to WIS next year, and his advice to incoming 4th graders is simple but spot on. Follow your teacher's directions and stay focused. Away from school, his hobbies include playing video games, watching TV, and playing basketball. He is also a member of the Wadsworth travel basketball team. Lennon aspires to play in the NBA someday, but is also interested in becoming an electrician as a backup career. With his love for basketball, it's no surprise that he admires LeBron James for his ability and love for the game. He also looks up to his dad as a role model and is grateful for the time he spent in basketball. Lennon, thank you for being an amazing Overlook Grizzly. Please join me in congratulating Lennon Lake on this well-deserved honor as Overlook Elementary's Board Student of the Month.
Good evening. I am Annie Stiver, third grade teacher at Valley View Elementary, and it is my honor to celebrate one of my former students, Brody Boshin, as Valley View Student of the Month. Brody's fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Wolf, described Brody as an incredibly hardworking and respectful young man. Since the first day of school, he has adapted to classroom routines, completes tasks on time, and is a role model for others. He is always going above and beyond and takes pride in his work. Brody lives at home with Mom, Dad, and his two brothers, Ben and Noah. In his spare time, Brody likes to play video games and wiffle ball. He and his family enjoy going on vacations in the summers, and they also enjoy watching movies together. When Brody grows up, he wants to be a baseball player. He also shared that he's really good at playing Fortnite. When speaking, that his favorite subjects in school are math and gym. He also mentioned that the best part of his school day is going home so he can relax. Brody feels most proud of himself when he earns good grades. When asked to describe himself, Brody said he is athletic, smart, kind, and respectful. Words that truly reflect who he is. Brody shared that he looks up to his older brother Noah and that his younger brother is someone who always makes him smile. Brody is a wonderful student, friend, son, and brother, and we are incredibly proud of him and look forward to seeing all that he will continue to achieve. Congratulations, Brody.
Hello, good evening, Board of Education and Wadsworth Community. I'm Brandon Cobb, principal of Wadsworth Intermediate School. I'm here tonight to celebrate our January Board Student of the Month, Claire Blower. Claire's the daughter of Katie and Nathaniel Blower, and she's also here tonight with her sister Natalie. Claire is a 6th grader and was nominated by her teachers, Mrs. Storm, Mrs. Schmidt, and Mrs. Field. Here's what her teachers had to say. We would like to select Claire Blower as Board Student of the Month at WIS. Claire is a kind, caring, and helpful student with a positive mindset. She always has a smile on her face when she arrives in the morning. She's friendly to both her teachers and her classmates and always makes a point to talk to others. She shows concern for others through her actions. We can always count on her in groups and when working on cooperative activities. Along with Claire being a strong student, she is a student council representative for her 6th grade class. She's in the WIS choir and plays the clarinet in the band. She enjoys art, especially drawing, and she plays volleyball. When she grows up, Claire would like to be a cosmetologist. That's not going to help me, Claire. We are happy to have Claire as on our team this year. Please help me congratulate WIS January Board Student of the Month, Claire Blower.
Good evening, I'm Chris Roberts, principal of Wadsworth Middle School, and tonight I am proud to recognize Michael Basinger as the Wadsworth Middle School January Board Student of the Month. Michael is a student who truly embodies dedication, curiosity, and a positive approach to learning at Wadsworth Middle School. Michael shared that his favorite subject is mathematics. He said it's a discipline that he genuinely loves for its structure, foundations, and the beauty of numbers themselves. Algebra in particular stands out as a subject he finds both fun and rewarding. He enjoys the challenge that it provides and approaches it with both enthusiasm and confidence. He credits Mrs. Smith from last year as a teacher who made a lasting impact thanks to her energy, charisma, and ability to make learning mathematics enjoyable. A close second for Michael is gym class, where he values the opportunity to stay active. He is also a talented performer who enjoys participating in band, show choir, and all WMS drama productions, demonstrating that his strengths extend well beyond the core academics. In science class, Mike is currently working on a Rube Goldberg project where he's still fine-tuning the logistics, but he's determined to incorporate dominoes and marbles into his design. This project reflects Michael's willingness to problem solve, experiment, and stick to a challenge until he finds a solution. Michael credits much of his success to his strong work ethic and his appreciation for academic challenges. He enjoys taking high school level classes and is diligent about completing assignments, studying for tests, and staying on top of his responsibilities. His motivation is fueled not only by his love for learning, but by the positive influence of his friends who help him stay focused, encouraged, and optimistic. Outside of school, Michael's heavily involved in gymnastics, where he favors events such as floor and vault, essentially anything that involves flipping. And I'm looking at him because Michael shared, dared him to do a backflip while he was up on stage. I won't say first names, but he goes by Dad. He's very talented, and he's also very active in Boy Scouts, where he has earned the rank of first class and is very close to achieving the rank of star. In his troop, Michael proudly takes on leadership responsibilities. As the bugler for his troop, he admits that he does find some joy in being the one that wakes everybody up in the morning. Michael points to his parents and friends as his greatest influences. His parents provide constant encouragement and support, while his friends offer kindness, positivity, and motivation. When faced with challenges, Michael approaches them in a logical manner. If he earns a grade that he's not satisfied with, he takes time to reflect on what he can do differently to achieve better results the next time, which speaks to his maturity and growth mindset. Looking ahead, Michael's goal for the rest of the year is to earn A's in all of his classes, perform well on midterms and final exams. He understands that strong academics can open doors for future success in high school, college, and beyond. Michael's advice to others: never give up, never let go of your dreams, and always strive to do your best. Michael, we're incredibly proud of you. Your determination, positivity, and commitment make you a wonderful role model for our school community. Please help me congratulate Michael Basinger on being named Wadsworth Middle School's January Student of the Month.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Suber, and I'm the proud principal of Wadsworth High School. And we proudly present Corinne Rollick as January's Career Tech Student of the Month. Corinne is the daughter of Ryan and Bill Rollick. She enjoys spending time with her friends and family, being active, and being outdoors. One of her favorite places to be is at her aunt's lake house during the summer, where she enjoys water skiing, wakeboarding, jet skiing, and simply being with her family. Her favorite color is lavender purple, and her favorite restaurant is Chipotle. Corinne has been part of the Wadsworth High School varsity soccer team for 4 years, where she led the team in total points during her junior year. She was named second team All-Suburban and second team All-District in 2023 and 2024. This year, she received first team All-Suburban League honors, second team All-Greater Akron, and second team All-District. She has also been a scholar athlete throughout all 4 years of high school and received the 2025 Scholar Athlete Award through the Ohio Scholastic Soccer Coaches Association. She maintains her skills by playing on her club soccer team, where she has been a captain and part of the club for 6 years. She has also participated in Wadsworth basketball, swimming, and lettered her freshman year in track. Corinne was also part of the show choir for 2 years, and she is now a member of the 4 Cities Compact Program and the Medical Diversified Technology Program. Her teacher, Mrs. Amanda Reed, has this to say about her. I cannot honestly say enough things about Corinne. In the classroom, she consistently demonstrates a level of intellectual curiosity that sets her apart from her peers. She does not simply complete assignments, she seeks to understand the material and often asks insightful questions. She puts her best effort to everything she does, while also managing her rigorous athletic schedule. She goes on to say that outside from her academic achievements, she is a person of remarkable integrity and kindness. She leads by example, often stepping up to support her classmates and fostering a collaborative, positive environment around her. Her resilience and setbacks and her unwavering commitment to her values make her stand out individual of high character. As Corinne pursues a career in the medical field, perhaps the highest compliment that I can offer is, if I or a loved one were in need of medical care, I would proudly recommend Corinne as someone to care for them. Corinne has been on the excellent or honor roll all 4 years of high school and has been inducted into the National Honor Society and the National Technical Honor Society. Corinne volunteers at the Wadsworth Suprema Senior Center, and she works at an ice cream shop. Corinne plans to enter the medical field and is considering pursuing a degree as a physician assistant in either orthopedics or pediatrics. Please join me in congratulating Corinne Rowlick. Wadsworth High School also proudly presents Haley Otradovic as January Student of the Month. Haley is the daughter of Marcy and Kelly. She enjoys hanging out with friends, baking, doing crafts, playing board games with her family. Outside of school, she is a member of the NCAT Club swim team and active in her youth group. Her favorite color is pink, and her favorite restaurant is Chick-fil-A. Throughout her time at Wadsworth, she has been a member of a variety of teams and leadership groups. In swimming, she is the 4x4 freestyle relay record holder, the 4x2 medley relay record holder. She is also a 2-time state qualifier in track. Haley is an executive board member on the National Honor Society and the vice president of Student Council, as well as the social media advisor. She is also a member of Medina County's Young Leadership Program, a peer mentor, and an integral member of the Whisperer, our high school yearbook course. Mrs. Laura Herrick, their yearbook advisor, says this: success in school is often measured by GPA, but Haley is a reminder that the true measure of a student is her character. She is someone who balances academic excellence and genuine kindness. Working with her in yearbook for the past 2 years has been an absolute joy, not just because of her work, but because of who she is. She is hardworking and organized. She is someone who goes out of her way to be kind and help everyone else. Her work is always excellent, but her integrity and quiet leadership that make her classroom and her school a better place. Haley is also a leader in the classroom, having completed 3 AP courses and 8 CCP courses. She maintains a 4.47 grade point average and still finds time to volunteer with Safety Town and swim lessons in the summer, as well as work part-time at the Wolf Creek Creamery. Haley plans to attend Ashland University and run on the women's track team. She will be studying dietetics and nutrition with the goal of becoming a sports dietitian. Haley would like to acknowledge that Wadsworth is very welcoming and a warm community. She says, when I came to Wadsworth my freshman year, I immediately became aware that all the teachers at WHS care for their students and their students' growth. I would not be doing as well in my classes if it weren't for my teachers' help during the academic lab or even during their own free periods during the day. WHS produces strong and dedicated students and strives to prepare them to take the next step toward their futures. Please join me in congratulating Haley Otradovic.
Congratulations again to all of our students in the month, family and friends. Thank you for joining this evening. This time our board will be transitioning into their business portion of the meeting. While all of you are more than welcome to stay, if you came just for the Student of the Month presentation tonight, you're also welcome to leave at this time. Thank you.
transparency.
Take it like you don't have real sex.
Frame
I
and
told
span.
you.
Congratulations to all of the students of the month and to the moms, dads, and grandparents. We know how proud you are. We'll now continue with our meeting with administrative discussion items, presentations, and updates. Dr. Hill.
Thank you, President Beck. First, it's School Board Recognition Month. Every January in the state of Ohio, we take time here in Wadsworth and across the state to honor and recognize all of our school board members. The job that you do setting the vision and leading the school district are very much appreciated. In front of you, you have a certificate of appreciation from the Ohio School Boards Association. And throughout the month, you can expect that you'll be receiving and seeing some items from students and others here throughout the school district. So on behalf of our students, employees, and community, thank you for putting yourself out there and taking on the leadership role that you do. Thank you. The next item that we have is a discussion kind of picking up where we left off on December 18th when you approved the fiscal precaution plan for us to be able to submit it to the Department of Education and Workforce. Tonight, to begin a discussion on a potential ballot request for operating funds. Maybe what we could do before we turn it over to you for discussion is just kind of outline briefly timelines and options and other things that are available, and then let whatever discussion needs to occur happen tonight, and probably request, based on the discussion, more than likely we schedule a couple special meetings for this month due to some upcoming timelines. So if that's okay, we'll kind of, Doug and I kind of work together on this. Sure. Starting with just kind of an overview again, and more for those that may watch this meeting tonight that maybe haven't seen stuff before. We are in what's called fiscal precaution status by the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce because we are showing a projected deficit of, on the official forecast that you approved in October, it's a little over $6.7 million. Starting in fiscal year 28, which is July 1st of 2027. There's a little bit more than that. It's really about $7.2 million when we include in what's anticipated to be lost from the piggyback exemption that the commissioners in Medina County enacted for calendar year 2026. As a result of that, we were required to submit a plan for how we would potentially reduce that to get fiscal year 28 into a positive balance instead of the negative that's showing, keeping in mind that future fiscal years after that, that the negative continues to compound. So we created that plan as we talked about last month at our regular stated meeting and again at the special meeting on December 18th. The plan was just that, something that we were legally required to do. But as noted in the narrative that accompanied the plan, we very much are really beginning the process tonight with the discussion that needs to happen about a potential ballot issue, which is not allowed to be the solution for the plan to the department, or other reductions and changes in services or increased revenue areas through fees and other things that we may need to consider. I think it would be fair to say that Doug and I believe when we're looking at the amounts that we are with the projection deficits, that it probably is a balance between an ask of the community and continuing to do what we've been doing through attrition with reductions and looking at some other areas where, at least discussion-wise, we look at where are we in relation to what the state requires with service levels, whether it's transportation or other things, like we noted in the plan. And so I think we envision a scenario where, as we move forward here, there's the discussion about the ballot initiative, what and when, if you decide to do something. And then there's also a path where we're working to continue to find ways where reductions can continue to be made like we've been doing as our enrollment declines. And other revenue options that may be able to bring to you that for consideration that will yield potentially some additional revenue, but nowhere near the amount that's necessary to address and deal with the projected deficit. We want to remind you as well, for those that are watching, that the situation that we're in is not unexpected. Doug has talked many times at these meetings about levy cycles and how the way that school funding works in Ohio. When you pass a levy, you start to build up reserves, only to spend that down on the tail end of levies. And the reason that that is for us, we are not at the 20 mil floor. With the state of Ohio, 20 mils is the lowest number of mills that legally can be collected. So when property values go up, we do not see the true value of those increases on all the mills that we have effective and are collecting on now. We only see it on the inside millage. So there's not additional revenue that's coming in. Doug has shared before with us that we've gone from over the last, how many years, Doug? From 50% down to 32? How many years has that been? 10 roughly?
About 10 years.
Yeah, so the last 10 years we've gone from where our revenue for expenses has been about 50-50 between local dollars and state dollars to now where we're at 68% local, 32% from the state. So as these costs continue to increase, and the state recently set their biennial budget to fund school districts at 2022 our costs for a budget that is 2025 through 2027, coupled with the fact that there's very limited, if any, revenue growth that's able to come because millage gets scaled back as property values increase to equal the dollars that we were able to collect when the levies were originally passed. It's not a surprise that we're here. We knew that was coming. The board chose to wait to see what happened with the biennial budget, which was finalized at the end of June of 2025 because there was wide swings from what was initially proposed by the state administration to what came out of the different chambers and ultimately was put in place. Extremes that were millions of dollars different, only to end up about a couple $100,000 ahead over the course of the 2 years from where we were. So Doug, is there anything you want to add in there with the background?
Yeah, just a few things. Like Dr. Hill mentioned, I don't think this is necessarily a surprise to anybody, but I think it's important to tell the story of how we got here. So for starters, our last ballot initiative was in 2021, and at that time we projected that would probably last us 5 years, and it's 2026. So that's kind of coming to fruition. But I think it's been compounded by a lot of factors that are outside of our control, particularly policy and decisions that have been made at the state level, whether that be the fact that our state funding is still being funded as if it were fiscal year 2022 here in 26 and 27. As Dr. Hill mentioned, the fact that our burden, the shift has moved from about 50-50 between local property taxes and state aid to this year we're projecting about 32% of our revenue coming from the state and the rest coming from local property taxes and other sources. And Dr. Hill mentioned too, as property values increase, so Medina County just went through a reappraisal and our millage rates get rolled back. So just 2 days ago, we got our rates and amounts from the county auditor's office. Last year, we were levying 28.4 mills. That is being rolled back to 24.1 mills. So 4.3 mills have been reduced from the tax duplicate as a result of property values increasing in Medina County with the Medina County reappraisal in 2025. And the last thing that kind of is all hitting us at once is all the information and noise and legislation that's out there related to property tax reform. So we just talked a little bit about how the state aid side is shrinking, which is putting more reliance on property taxes. At the same time, state legislators are making decisions to limit our ability to collect property taxes in terms of 4 bills that were recently passed by the legislature and signed by the governor that further limit local school districts and entities and to levy property taxes and to collect on property taxes. So we're kind of getting squeezed from both ends, which makes it difficult as well. So I think those are some of the important highlights as to why we are where we are and why we're showing a deficit, even though we've been managing money well, reducing staff along the way, but it's still kind of all hitting us at the same time. Again, when we thought it would 5 years ago, when we passed the levy, but further compounded by some of the things that are outside of our control.
So as we look on the potential ballot issue side of things, Doug kind of created some strategic questions, which are things that we'll need to work through as we have these discussions. But while there's different types of options of what you're permitted to ask the voters for, they basically come down to an income tax versus a property tax. And so the conversation of what type, there used to be the ability to be able to have a combination of those two, but that's recently been eliminated through legislative action that was signed into law. There's as we look at the amounts then with whatever is decided, income tax, property tax, what is the level, like how many years do we want to look out till we're deficit spending again? We'll factor into what gets asked. How many years until a deficit cash balance? How much do we want to try to target with internally if we're looking at reductions and other things in combination with the ask to the community if that's decided. As far as timelines go, we have two opportunities this calendar year, to ask the community. I think it's important to note that the year in which you pass an issue, collections do not start until the next calendar year. So again, we're looking at a deficit that's hitting that we're needing to address and deal with that starts on July 1st of 2027. And so when we look at the options that are available this calendar year, it's the May 5th primary election and the November 3rd general election. If you're going to consider something being on the ballot on May 5th, the deadline to have everything done and submitted to the Board of Elections is February 4th. If you're looking to have something done for the November 3rd general election, the deadline to have stuff completed and submitted to the Board of Elections is August 5th. As far as process goes, there's the need to have really two different meetings where resolutions get passed. The first is kind of your intention of what you're looking for, and then depending on which option you go with, income tax versus property tax, what you pass in the first resolution either goes to the county auditor to verify amounts for a property tax or to the state of Ohio to verify amounts for an income tax. And then that comes back to you for the final resolution that then has has to be all of that submitted to the Board of Elections. Doug, is there anything you want to add on the options or timelines?
I think you outlined it well.
Okay. I think Doug and I's recommendation would be that you strongly consider, as you discuss things, taking something to the community at the May primary. And the reasons that we suggest that are, one, if for some reason we were not to be successful, it gives another opportunity in this calendar year, which is important for what I said earlier. And secondly, if we were to wait until the November opportunity, we think that we would potentially have to look to do more drastic reductions than if we go in May, because it's very hard for us once we get into the start of the school year to look to have to do mid-year reductions for many of our positions once students are assigned to buildings and all of the stuff that you're very well familiar with, to try to make mid-school year reductions, especially with teaching staff, would be, while it is possible, it would be very challenging and present a lot of dynamics that we think that you more than likely would like to stay away from. So if our thoughts would be to seriously give consideration to something for May. So with all of that said, we wanted to turn it over to you to have a discussion if there's any comments or anything. And I don't think that tonight is definitely not the ending point. It's kind of the beginning. And before we finish the discussion, more than likely we'd like to see if we could schedule a couple special meetings here for this month. So, President Beck, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Yeah, before we have opportunity to share comment, I will remind the public we did have some conversation about this at our December 18th meeting, and if anybody is curious about that, I think it's available on WCTV on demand. But at this time, let's just open it up. If there are any comments or discussion, this isn't a decision, it's just a discussion at this point. But if anyone on that board has any comment, go for it.
Thank you. Many of you know I like to hear myself talk, so I just wrote a bunch of words down that I can say just to hear myself say them. Penelope. One question I have for you, Dr. Hill, and I don't know if this is something that you guys have looked into, and I don't mean to sound like a sleazy politician, but the turnout for the primary is usually not the same as what the turnout is for the general election. The people who turn out for the primary usually tend to be more, I don't want to say serious voters, but really have an idea of what's going on. Do you think that would affect the probability of passing a levy going sooner than going later?
I guess what I would tell you in past experiences where I've been in that situation, not in this district, the answer to that was no. We've been in that situation though here. Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, in my history of the district, we have traditionally gone in November. We did go in August when that was an option one time, and were not successful and did come back and pass a ballot initiative in November. I think that was the 2011 levy cycle. I think to your point, yeah, traditionally your non-general elections have lower voter turnout, which are people that may or may not support education in that regard. But I think part of that will be the task of our levy committee to make sure that they get that message out there, to tell our story, to tell about all the great things that are happening in our buildings. Students that are up here every month are a showcase of that. So that'll be the task, if that is the decision, is to make sure that we do get voter turnout and we do get the people that support schools to the ballot.
The one other thing I want to say is that I think it's very important that we invite the faculty, students, citizens to participate in this process. This is not just an us process. we're the people that are outside of everything, and the people that are inside may have some insight for us that would really help us, not only to put together whatever kind of advertising or whatever we need, but also maybe help us find ways to save money. So, I would really hope that if you have any ideas, to please join us and collaborate with us. Thank you.
Anybody else?
You mentioned if we do determine or want to have an opportunity for an income tax, we do have another deadline that's prior to the deadlines that we would have for the real property tax, because we have that 100-day before the election deadline to get things to the State Department of Taxation. And by my count, we'll double check this, but the business day that would be January 23rd. Is that right? Is that what they had?
I did the same calculation. I ended up on the weekend. So I go before or after.
Right, I ended up on the weekend, so I just went the day before.
So it's Sunday the 25th would be 100 days, so it would be the 23rd probably.
Okay. So, if we're looking at, and I do think we're going to need at least a couple of meetings to go through and plow through all of this information and have good discussion and collaboration, but just to keep that in mind, that, we're going to have to move quickly here to establish some meetings to give us that opportunity to be able to take action on the 23rd, if that's what we need to do.
I wanted to ask a question relating to that.
Yeah.
So the 100 days to the state, is that after the second resolution, or is that to get to the state to verify numbers before you vote?
That's to get to the state to get the numbers.
Okay.
Yes.
The first resolution.
It's essentially a resolution of necessity that we would normally have parlance in the real property.
Right, that we normally would go to the county auditor with.
Correct.
So basically, that means then that the state puts itself on a 10-day timeline to have to respond?
That's right, so that we have, and I get to it before that, but then that comports with our requirements to be able to meet our filing deadlines with the county for the Board of Elections.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Anybody else?
So next week, probably going to be busy.
Yeah. With those deadlines, we were thinking if you were with this month, that maybe next Thursday or Friday should be the first meeting at the latest, and then potentially something probably a week or two after that.
Before we set dates, does anybody else have anything that they would like to share? Or we can move on to dates. Yeah,
I'm good with us, obviously, attempting to get on the ballot on May 5th election. Hopefully, we do our work and do our tasks and tell our story, we'll be successful on there. So, not until we have the ability to collaborate with all of the information that is needed to make a decision on what type of levy we'll be having. I'm good at this point.
Same, I'm good with May, so we can proactively plan for the next school year.
Yeah, I think we all knew there were going to be a lot of important decisions to be made, difficult decisions this year, as there are every year. So we know there are challenges, but I'm confident that we'll make these decisions thoughtfully, respectfully, and just with our focus on what's best for our students, our teachers, our parents, our community. And it's not something we take lightly. I'm also thankful that we have been doing the work over the past year to look at cost cutting, and I've already taken some action steps on that. So this is a continuation of that process. So why don't we look to the calendar and try to get some things scheduled.
Amanda, you've dealt with these timelines best. If we were to look to the end, towards the end of next week for our first, is that too late, do you think? Do you think it needs to be earlier in the week?
I don't think so, because something that we've employed with my clients is in order to meet a deadline like that, we went ahead and passed the first resolution. It doesn't mean that's where we're going with it, but If we needed to think about more time, and that was certainly something we wanted to consider, we could pass that first resolution for an income tax so that we could get that process started. That doesn't mean we'd have to determine to proceed with that. So that would give us a little extra time if we needed it, and it's pretty a usual customary thing that we employ. So 15th or 16th you mentioned. I think either one of those would work to get our process started.
Is this one of those?
To the 15th.
The 15th?
Okay.
What time do we want to do early?
We can work with whatever works for you.
I just prefer not during the work day because I do have some things for clients that day.
I'm available at 5:30 and beyond.
Okay.
What time, I'm sorry?
5:30 and after?
That's fine with me.
I'm good all day. So 5:30 on the 15th?
Yep. Okay.
Do we want to put a second date on the calendar tonight to
Yeah, I
help
think so.
with planning?
Where's that meeting going to be?
It'll be here. We'll probably do it in the media center here at the high school, if that's okay with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So then the next meeting, should we, let's presume that as we look at these, that something happens next Thursday and then we're submitting one place or the other depending on what you decide. What is that, from the county perspective, Doug, you believe how much time is needed?
I
To
mean,
be safe.
ideally, they're going to want 2 weeks, but I would think that it would be quicker than that.
Okay.
And Doug, if we give them a heads up before we do it,
Yeah.
they'll move it even quicker, and then we just have to certify the resolution.
Yeah, it'd be more so if we went with the state route. We really don't have a lot of control over that one. I
Right.
have enough contacts at the county that I think I could get it done sooner, but the state,
Yeah.
that's going to be up to, we're going to be at their mercy. So I would say probably, depending on which way we go, if we go in income tax, then we'd probably be looking at the 22nd.
Okay.
But if we go a different direction, we could do sooner. I think 22nd still gives us adequate time. That's still almost 2 weeks until the 4th.
So are you thinking we would have an idea after the January 15th meeting so that we can request the legislation to be prepared to take action on either one that following week then? Like you said, like the 22nd, is that what you're thinking? Because I don't
So
know.
we had to be in by the 23rd?
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is if we meet on the 15th,
I'm sorry, I was off.
and then we
I was
make
looking
some
at today's meeting.
decisions about which way we want to go.
You're thinking the 29th.
29th, I'm sorry.
I would say,
Or 27, 28, 29 would probably be the ideal time to.
maybe what I would suggest and that would be we set the first, and the second one we set it in mind of having that be where the second one is passed and things are done.
Okay.
And then next week when we have the meeting on the 15th, if we feel like we're going to need to add more, we add more at that time.
Okay.
So with that said, and listening to what Doug and Amanda have said, maybe somewhere around the middle to the end of the week of the 26th.
I'm available Tuesday, the 27th. 5 o'clock. Later, Amanda?
I could do, if it was the 27th, I could do like 6.
6? I can do 6.
Yeah. Sorry though, guys, if we don't know that we would do an income tax until after the 15th, or at the 15th meeting, are we going to have legislation to make that, to pass that night? Or are we going to need to then ask for the legislation so that we can pass it that following week before, and get it filed before the 23rd?
Can we come prepared with legislation where blanks get filled in?
We can.
And that was my hope on the 15th, is that we'll have multiple resolutions and we'll.
Okay, that's what I was asking, so
Well,
sorry.
sorry, it
That horse
wasn't
there.
clear. We'll come.
Assuming we pass a resolution on the first resolution to either the county or the state on the 15th.
Okay.
Then, if it was to the county, I would feel very confident that we would have be able to move forward on the 27th. It was the state. I would hope we would, but I can't not guarantee.
Yes,
I think
okay.
I think they're on a 10-day time clock to
Okay.
respond.
Okay, yeah, so we can discuss it further, but if we have form legislation for blanks to fill in, or if we give them some alternatives that we want to see before us, then we can do that. So, okay, sorry about that. I just want to make sure.
So 6 o'clock on the 27th.
Yeah.
5:30 on the 15th.
Yep.
And what we
If
can
need
do
something,
is,
the week of the 19th, we'll decide.
Okay.
yeah, we can ask legal counsel to have a draft of what a property tax legislation would look like, and a resolution, and what an income tax one would look like. We should be able to, I would think, then be able to plug in whatever gets
we'll make sure.
decided.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the 15th at 5:30, the 27th at 6 p.m., both of them in the Wadsworth High School Media Center.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, anything else on that?
No.
The only other thing under the administrative items, there's some policies listed in the detail sheet with the agenda that had some technical corrections that were made that we'll submit to Neola, our policy provider. But thank you.
All right, so do we need to vote on this? Any of this?
No. Okay.
All right, so we're at the point in our meeting for public participation. If there's anyone here that would like to make public comment, you just state your name and your address, and you'll get 3 minutes. So if anyone would like to get up and share. All right, so.
Sit down, Mr. Jackson.
All right, very good. All right, next up, administrative items. Dr. Hill.
Thank you. Tonight, personnel consent items have items 1 through 4 for your consideration. I needed to make 2 verbal changes to what's on the original agenda. For item 1A1, Ron Hart, we need to add effective January 6th, 2026. And then item 1A2, Donna Kilbert, we need to remove Donna from the agenda. Something has come up and Donna's no longer able to take employment with us at this time. Maybe we'll see her again in the future. So Ron's effective date will remove Donna from the agenda. Also today, addendums came out to the personnel consent. We added 1D5 and 1E4, a supplemental contract and a volunteer. So at this time, I'll recommend to you personnel consent items 1 through 4 with the verbal corrections and the additions that came out on the addendum.
All right, do we have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All right, roll call.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Jill Stevens.
Aye.
Tim Beck.
Aye.
Tom Fisher. Aye. Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Next, we have action consent items 1 through 24. 18 through 24 came out on the addendum today. I wanted to highlight a couple of these. First, item 2 is the strategic plan 2026 through 2030 that we've had discussion about the last couple meetings that began in the spring with a community engagement process. I want to thank our students, employees, and community that gave feedback to help formulate and create that plan. Item 7, Wadsworth Community Radio. Just wanted to recognize them for their 10 years they recently celebrated this past year of being in existence, and for their continued partnership with us with what they do for our schools. Item 16, wanted to thank our anonymous donation of $20,000. And then item 17, you'll see there's a first reading of a number of policy revisions that come suggested by our policy provider, Neola, and our school district's legal counsel. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. At this time, I recommend to you action consent items 1 through 24.
One question on number 3. recommendation to join the Ohio School Boards Association Legal Assistance Fund. Are those dates correct?
No, those are not. Those should be 26. I apologize. So we'll correct that. January 1st of 26 through December 31st of 26.
Does anybody else have any comment before we go to a vote?
I had a couple of questions. On the Gepford Company, terms
Yes.
and conditions. It's been a continuing saga for us with respect to HVAC. And I understand that this is a contract that we're continuing for the high school. Are we comfortable with terms and conditions? Are they aware of the issues and challenges that we've had, and are we comfortable moving forward with them?
Sure. The Gepford Company will be a new company for us to work with. They are aware of the challenges that we've had. They're coming in with what's being recommended to you tonight. It's at a reduced rate from what we previously paid our other provider. Mark Miller is our new, as you know, is the newer supervisor of facility and grounds. Mark comes in with an extensive background and actually degree in HVAC. And so he's been very helpful to us to address a number of the challenges that we've experienced over the last few years in the area of HVAC. Mark has made some discoveries and other things with his knowledge and experience that he's brought that probably literally has saved us hundreds of thousands of dollars since he's been with us since October. And so Gepford Company is a company that Mark is, I believe, familiar with. He's comfortable with what they'll be bringing to the table. And so it's a one-year agreement, so we can, if we're not happy with the services that we're receiving, then we can look elsewhere.
Okay, great, thank you. That's all I have.
So we're voting on action consent item B1 through 17, is that correct?
Through 24.
Through 24 with the addendum?
Yeah, 18 through 24 is the addendum.
And with the corrected date on point number 3?
Correct.
All right, do I have a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call, Mr. Beaman.
Jill Stevens?
Aye.
Tim Beck?
Aye.
Tom Fisher?
Aye.
Julie Beatty?
Aye.
Amanda Gordon?
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, number 7, items of the treasurer.
Thank you. My only item tonight is for you to approve your estimated revenue and expenses for fiscal year 27. Required to submit that here to the County Budget Commission. You may recall last year, shortly after this was submitted, Dr. Hill and I went and met with the County Budget Commission to present the findings from this report and explain why we were requesting for them to levy our full voted millage rate, or our full effective millage rates. That was kind of a first time for that, and we are expecting to need to do that again. But this document here is the first step in that process for them to certify our rates and amounts and levy the collection of those for the upcoming year.
Any questions? All right, a motion in a second.
So moved.
Come on, Tom.
Second.
All right, very good. All right, roll call, Mr. Beaman.
Tim Beck.
Aye.
Tom Fisher.
Aye.
Julie Beatty.
Aye.
Amanda Gordon.
Aye.
Jill Stevens.
Aye.
All right, we will forego the legislative update and do a supersized one in February. Because I don't think they're in session right now.
Can't wait, Tim.
We can't wait, yeah. So we will move on to point number 9, board member items. So we don't want to put Tom on the spot because he's new. So let's start with you, Julie.
Okay, thank you. Well, I would like to welcome Tom to the board. We're happy to have you, and it will be an exciting / challenging 4 years. So welcome, and congratulate Tim on becoming president. So I'm looking forward to your year of leadership. And I just, again, love looking at the newsletters and love seeing all of the things that pick back up in January after we get back from break. I love seeing the chili cook-offs and the preparation for the variety shows and the movie nights. And I always love seeing on the middle school newsletter that the 8th graders start scheduling for their high school career. So all exciting events that happen in January. So I just want to wish everybody Happy New Year. And let's continue to collaborate, work together, and tell our story.
Amanda?
Great, thank you. Welcome, Tom. I very much look forward to working with you this next term. So, lots of great things were happening over break. I was trying to keep up with all of them and did the best I could. But our Lady Grizzlies basketball are 12-0. They rolling through the Suburban League, and I'll knock wood now so I don't jinx Coach Booth. But wonderful things going on with those ladies. Both the girls and boys bowling teams doing well. I'm not sure what pinfall records are because I probably don't knock it down enough pins to really know what that is, but they're breaking those records, which I know is wonderful. Our wheelchair basketball kids are doing great things, and I love the competition and things that they're doing. To our football team, lots of great things. Coach Todd especially named Inland All-Ohio Coach of the Year, and then Cleveland Browns High School Coach of the Year, so that was extremely exciting. And for our students, we were the first place team in the state, Academic All-Ohio, which is an absolutely incredible accomplishment, so congratulations to all of our students. And then I'll mention, check the websites too, because I believe it's January 16th is the first Friday Night Lights camp for kids, kindergarten through 8th grade, from 6:30 to 8 o'clock in the field house, so the kids can be working and learning various skills. And then they've partnered with some of the local restaurants in town, so parents can get a date night while the kids get tired practicing football skills. So check those out. I think there's 4 coming up through April, which is also very exciting. So good luck, Tim. Congratulations, and we're here for you. So that's all. Thank you.
Jill.
Thanks, Tim. Also welcome to Tom to the board. Congratulations to Tim and Julie, and thank you to Amanda for serving as president last year. Also, thank you to Julie for coordinating our school board lunches, which we do every single year. The December one is the high school. That's a big one, and keeping everything straight there. That might be what was going to come out of that. Was it was quite a big order of lunches. So, and thanks for coordinating the rest of the year for us. That's a good thing. Amanda took a lot of the highlights, which is great. I think the #1 academic team in the state, that probably deserved a round of applause. Yeah. Nothing more important than what we do in the classroom. Congratulations, Danny Booth, for 500 wins. That's an exceptional career and a milestone to be excited of. You mentioned the bowling team. Alex and Grace were both the athletes of the week this week. And a shout out to our communications coordinator, CJ? CC, I knew I was going to say it wrong. CC for keeping the community informed of all the good things that are happening in Wadsworth schools. So thank you for that. And shout out to Brandon Cobb. Finding Flat Cobb was purely entertainment. Yes. No, it was supposed to be realistic, but good try. Yeah, so I look forward to all the other ones that will occur in future years. Challenge sent. Yes, thank you.
All right, Tom.
And we're done.
I don't know if this is necessarily the right part of the meeting to bring it up, but I've been driving around for the past week and a half, and I have yet to find a parking spot with my name on it. So maybe that's something we could discuss.
12 years in, I haven't found mine.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we could color them in the high school parking lot.
I like it. I believe I heard that this is the 40th anniversary of the Grizzly Invitational Tournament, which is a big wrestling tournament hosted here at Wadsworth High School. I'm not exactly sure if it's this month or next month, but as a former grappler, it's always an exciting time of year to see the GIT. So thank you all very much for helping me. This is not an easy thing or anything I ever dreamed of doing, but I'm definitely looking forward to working with all of you, so thank you.
Yeah, this initiation, jumping right in, and I thank you, Tom, for jumping in also and helping with the Students of the Month, and you did a great job. That was my initiation 2 years ago, so thank you. And congratulations, and thank you, Amanda, for your work in the past year as president, and I am excited for the opportunity to serve as president of the Board of Education for Wadsworth City Schools for this year. You know, as Tom actually mentioned earlier, this isn't about one person. I think our work is collaborative, and it must always be that, a team effort. So my goal is that we'll embrace this year with patience, with listening ears, and a collaborative spirit. And I really do feel like we will work really hard to do what's best for our community and for our schools. You know, one of the neat things about driving in to this meeting tonight was just to see how full the parking lot was. And of course, we can get frustrated with that sometimes when we can't find a place to park and we have to park a mile away. But it just shows that there's a lot of stuff happening in all of our schools, especially this one on nights like this, and seeing kids of all ages in the building. And so there are a lot of good things that happen each and every night in our schools that people don't often know about. And so hopefully this year, even from time to time, we can highlight some of those things to just kind of remind the community that, you know, we have some good things happening here, and students and parents are benefiting from what we offer. But again, this is going to be a challenging year, but an exciting year, because we all signed up for this, and we all know that, you know, making hard decisions is part of the job. But we're here for it, and just thankful for the opportunity. So at this time, we will move on to our executive session for the purposes of considering the following matters of employment, for preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with the public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment, and also matters required to be kept confidential by federal law or rules or state statutes. So at this time, if we have a motion and a second to adjourn, we will adjourn into our executive session.
So, second.
Roll call? Yeah.
Tom Fisher? Aye. Julie Beatty?
Aye.
Amanda Gordon?
Aye.
Jill Stevens?
Aye.
Tim Beck?
Aye. Thank you.
Homeless needs to get off their duff. We can't do this. This cannot happen again.
Conference room by Vincent's office, main office, where we were last.